Emily from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Wednesday, December 25th. So first of all, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Solstice, Merry Kwanzaa, Happy Wednesday. Whatever it is that you celebrate, whatever it is that you align with, I hope that you have the happiest day available to you. But of course, because we are in the depths of the darkness, because we are waiting for the sun to essentially be reborn, we have been sitting in quite the funk. And even though there is this resurrection, renewal type of energy, we're feeling the pressures of the old. We're feeling the pressures of having to let go of the old in order for us to be fully prepared to move on and move forward. Of course, there is a lot of astrology to suggest that today is going to be heavy, going to be semi-challenging. But of course, it's up to us to take this information, and because we know better, we can do better, to override these particular energies with the happiest of vibes, the best, most positive of mindsets, and again, doing all that we can to kind of shake the funk away from our present moment. So with all of that being said, let me just remind you that we had the moon in this Libra energy go void, of course, at 5:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time yesterday morning on the 24th. And we're still sitting in this void and we'll continue to sit in this void until 3:08 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when the moon is going to shift into Scorpio energy. The fact that the sun is essentially being born under the Scorpio moon is hilarious to me because, of course, this means major shifts, major change, major transformation, having to deal with the shadow in order to illuminate the light, having to deal with the endings and the closures needed in order to initiate a brand new chapter. There's a lot going on, but I think that the intensity of this moon in Scorpio is going to work in our favor, as long as, again, we can be aware of the not so nice energies, we can flip the script and do our part to, again, rise up and rise above. Now, with that being said, there are 10 different aspects taking place here today, 9 of them involving the moon. The one that does not involve the moon involves the sun and Mars, and it is how we're kicking off the day, and it is not such a great interaction. Let me just start by saying that the sun in this Capricorn energy shining a very bright light in the darkness, on the darkness, through the darkness, okay? We're looking back at how it is that we've gotten here. Again, the Capricorn energy is the sun is a bright light on how it is that we created the realm and reality that we're currently in. And we have to look back to figure out how it is that we've gotten here. We have to flip the script on this present moment so that we can focus on the things that are working, the silver linings, the best desired outcome in order to figure out where it is that we want to go from here. Now, Mars, on the other hand, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, drive, passion, desire, even our anger. Mars is retrograde, so his ass is sat on the bench. This is why he's frustrated. This is why we're edgy. This is why we have ants in our pants. This is why we are a little bit angered at some situations and circumstances, because we want to be in the game. We want to see rapid progress. We want to see those changes. And of course, nothing is changing anytime soon, anytime fast, because we have some inner work to do. The sun and Mars coming together in this way doesn't feel good. It's going to present a lot of challenges to our mental plane, to our energy, to our heart space. There's a destabilization of the energies, if you will. It's disrupting the flow, disrupting the good, disrupting the positivity. And because this is putting us in a situation to kind of feel torn in two different directions, because that's where we're at in the calendar, where we have to kind of take a good look at the dilemma that we think that we're in, the dilemma that high probability we're actually creating out of nothing. There is this part of us that wants to do something that is in direct conflict with what it is that we feel or think we should be doing. So what we want to be doing for ourselves versus what we want to be doing for other people. And of course, with the holiday pressures, with the societal constructs, tensions are definitely high. We're trying to figure out what we truly want, what we truly need, what we truly desire, not only in this present moment, but in the days, in the months, in the years to come. And although there are some intensities where wants, needs, and desires are becoming fully illuminated, we're kind of uncertain or unsure on whether or not they're legit, whether or not we're actually going to pursue them, how we're going to pursue them, and what it would actually feel like if we were successful in fulfilling those particular wants, needs, and desires. So this is a weird energy, I'm not going to lie. This is a conflicting energy, a tension-filled energy, which of course is going to help us put things into perspective and make some very important changes, edits, revisions, if you will. We are in a retrograde nonetheless. Not only to our emotions, not only to our wants, needs, and desires, but to our mental plane, how we're reframing the challenges that we are going to be facing and trying to bust into a new path, a new direction. So we kick off the day with that tension, with that conflict. Now, we have the moon in this Libra energy, still in the void, going to be making an awkward interaction with first Jupiter and then Saturn. So Jupiter, of course, is the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings. He is retrograde, looking back, reassessing, reanalyzing, revisiting, revising. In Gemini energy, old thoughts, old ideas, old projects, old information, old knowledge, old conversations. And again, reframing, restructuring the way that we see the world, the way that we're thinking about certain things. And again, challenging our own damn selves to flip the script in the most positive of ways. So of course, emotionally speaking, we're not going to be feeling so hot. That Libra energy has the scales tipped against us. They're not working in our favor where optimism and confidence is concerned. But again, we know these energies, and once we know better, we have to do better. We have to rise up. We have to break away from these energies. We have to focus on the positives. It's going to make it a very hard thing to do with these challenging aspects, considering the fact that at 1:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon in Libra in this void now for almost 24 hours, going to be making a harsh interaction with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, who's sitting in his throne now, ruling over Capricorn season, being worshipped under this Saturnalia festival of energies that our modern day celebrations are essentially based off of. The moon interacting with Saturn, going to bring a little bit of a funk, a little bit of some emotional junk. Again, very reflective, very nostalgic. We have Saturn in this Pisces energy. It is a water sign. It is about karma. It is about the tough love life lessons. It's about looking back, reframing, restructuring those tough love life lessons, the absolute shit show of particular situations and circumstances that we've lived through our lives, and coming to a certain term of acceptance, a certain peace, a certain contentment within ourselves, understanding that everything happened exactly how it needed to in order to land us at this particular juncture. So, of course, at 3:08 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon will shift into that Scorpio energy. And again, even on a normal day, everybody kind of, squirms when the moon shifts into that Scorpio energy, because this is the deep, transformative energy that takes place on a soul level. It does not feel good. It does require shadow work. We're in a very potent time of darkness right now, again, waiting for this renewal, this resurrection. And so we have to be very careful with our thoughts, with our emotions as we observe these fluctuating energies. Now, 4:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the moon in Scorpio making its very first aspect, and it is not a great one. It is a square, getting into the boxing ring, squaring off, fighting with, highlighting the tension, the conflict due to the growing pains with Pluto. Pluto rules over that Scorpio energy. Pluto is the great transformer through the death and destruction process, clearing the space, cleaning the slate for a renewal, a resurrection, a true transformation to actually take place, actually root, actually manifest. We have Pluto in this Aquarius energy. Scorpio and Aquarius energy are both fixed signs. Fixed energies do not like change, even though that we know that we have to do the change. We don't want to do it. What we want to do is find a safe place, a grounding point, a stable place within us. But of course, the Scorpio energy is highly emotional, super intuitive, and we have the high observing effects of the highest level of our intelligence popping off with that Aquarius energy. So emotionally speaking, we're going to be feeling the funk. We're going to be feeling the heaviness, whether that is grief or sadness or the ifs, ands, and buts, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas of the past. Doesn't matter. We're in reflective mode. We're in a dark space in the calendar where again. We are awaiting the sun to actually start moving in the sky once again on its journey to its highest point, which of course will be in the summer solstice energy. But of course, we have the resurrection energy kicking off in Aries season. So we have a couple of months of introverted introspection, analyzation, shadow work to do before we as a collective are going to be born again. This is going to be intense. The moon in Scorpio then going to make a very harsh interaction with that North Node in Aries. The North Node is trying to get us on the right path, thinking about our future, thinking about our independent goals, our mission, our purpose, where it is that we want to end up. But of course, this is not such a great interaction, which means that there's more of a reflection back on the past than there is moving on and moving forward. Again, there's a heaviness and a weight to this particular time of year. It's divinely scripted. In order for us to reach the lowest point, as the sun reaches his lowest point, in order for us to do the deep, dark purge that has to happen before we rise again. Now, the moon in Scorpio going to make a very positive interaction with Neptune in Pisces energy. This is going to take place at 9:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the renewal of our hope, our wish, our faith. This is the renewal of our soul and our spirit. This is the reminder that good things are happening, that good things have happened, things are happening, and that there are good things to come. There is a, let's call it, full circle acceptance and peace and harmony taking place within us that understands that the challenges of our previous experiences had to happen in order to push us into our power. It's a beautiful thing. But as you know, just as we kind of gain a little bit of momentum, gain a little bit of insight, find a little bit of hope and faith within us again, there has to be a not so nice interaction that pulls us back into the funk. And that would be just about a half hour later when the moon in Scorpio gets into the boxing ring, squares off, creates tension and conflict, illuminating the growing pain with Mars. Mars co-rules over the Scorpio energy. Mars is currently retrograde in Leo energy. Scorpio energy and Leo energy are both fixed signs. Again, the fixed energy knows that we have to change, knows that we have to improve, knows that we have to make adjustments, but really resists doing all of those things. We just want to kind of stick to where it is that we're at, what is tried, tested, and true. But we at this particular juncture know that we cannot continue to do the same old and expect any kind of different result. We do get a beautiful energy pulling us out of that Mars conflict. And again, we're just all up in the heart space with that particular energy. We're very conflicted on what we can do, what we should do, what we want to do. We have the sun in this Capricorn energy sextiling with the moon in Scorpio. We love Scorpio and Capricorn energy working together because when you water earth, something grows. We have the moon and the sun illuminating new wants, needs, and desires. We have the sun and Capricorn energy shining a bright light on what could be if we can boss up in our power, in our emotions, in our headspace, and make the changes, the transformations that we have to make under the Scorpion influence. We then have the moon in Scorpio making a very positive interaction with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings, who is retrograde, looking back, reflecting upon in the Gemini energy. Water energy and air energy, when they're working together, there's going to be a spark, if you will, a flow, if you will, of new intuitive insights, new visions, new dreams, new creative energies, new solutions. And because Jupiter is involved, we're feeling good. We're feeling positive. We're feeling optimistic. We are honestly in a position to rise up and rise above a lot of the negative energies that have been thrown at us here throughout the course of the day. The last thing that we got going on here today is the moon in the Scorpio energy making a very positive interaction with that North Node. So earlier on in the day, we weren't really looking forward. We were looking back, and we weren't looking back with a smile on our face. There was a lot of sadness, a lot of heaviness, a lot of weight. This particular energy has us pumped, has us empowered, has us focused on the future and actually believing that we can achieve whatever kind of dream, goal, and vision we can actually conjure up. We're open to the changes needing to be made. We're open to the transformations that need to take place in our soul space. We're open to growing, to learning, to evolving. This is boss up energy, and it is a perfect ending to what could be a very difficult energetic day.